196th Knowledge Seekers Workshop for Thursday, November 2nd, 2017. Once again, I'm your host, Rick Crammond, and once again, we'll have Mr. Kesh for today's teaching. And I'm sure he'll have lots to say, as he always does, for us to ponder. And I think he's ready to go already today. Mr. Kesh, are you indeed ready to go?
Yes, good morning, good day to you, as usual, whenever you listen to these knowledge seekers workshops and sharing knowledge in different ways. In the past couple of weeks, past 3-4 weeks, as I mentioned in the last teachings, we have stepped up the teaching. We have gone beyond physicality. We have gone in a dimension the way the universe works. Physicality, tangibility, needing physical confirmation to confirm something we see, we know is correct. And in the recent past, those who could abuse this situation, they always say, confirm, I see, I believe. So I cannot see with my eyes, I don't believe. So I want to say stupid, and your intelligence to me is irrelevant because I don't have the sight to see. I don't want to see because then I have to teach myself something new. But the strangest thing is now we're going to the next level. How can you let the soul of another person see what you see with your soul? It's getting more complicated for the physical man. It's getting more complicated for those who look for confirmation of control. Show me yours, and if I want, I accept, otherwise I've moved the goalpost. How do we handle this with the soul of the man? How do we look into confirmation of what we do is correct, confirmation of what we see is correct, confirmation of what we feel with our soul is correct? Then it comes to a point, do I need to prove? Then this way, I cannot, I shall not, and I will not be controlled. As I've said many times, people say, show us this. I said the time of the magic to show, to prove is gone. You have to understand, to feel, and comprehend through your soul. It's been the pattern that they ask for the prophets of the past, show us a magic. Religion and magicians became the same. Look at the life of Christ, look at the life of Muhammad, blessed their names. The same as Moses, the same as everybody else which has come to guide mankind, they had to show magics. Now the magic is on a man to find his soul. And I've said many times, I would not show any magic, because I show you in the universe there is no magic. We have to understand, we have to comprehend, we have to step up to the new knowledge that nothing in the universe can become a magic, that the magician become a prophet. The change. Ways in the past few weeks, few months, everything which is achieved is put on the carpet because we do not see a dead man rise. We do not see the ocean open for people to cross, then there is nothing. But we have enlightened with the magic of the science that many millions can do everything themselves. Everyone has the potential to reach his soul, to understand the physicality is the extension of the soul. It's what has separated us from the past. Magic. There is no resurrection. There is no hiding somewhere waiting to come into the eye of a man. is the openness of the man to understand the essence of his creation. This is what has been the biggest problem for a lot of people around the foundation. Show me, show me, show me, show me. Now, the thing is, the answer is very simple. You show me your soul. You show me your soul. Ask the question to discredit. You show me the soul is there to block the knowledge. You show me your soul, I show you my technology. So the answer is very simple. Nobody needs to show, but everybody understands according to the understanding, their level of intelligence, and what it fits them to be. Fits them to be amongst people according to the level of understanding of the people you are with. It's no use speaking about cosmology with a fisherman who's just interested in the fish, and the stars guides him to where to be, where daytime, nighttime to fish. You speak about cosmology to a cosmologist, he tell you the shape of the solar system, the position of them, and everything else. So we have to become, to understand, to speak the language of the man according to his intelligence. When we teach in such a way as of these workshops, we teach every man. We teach in every level of understanding, that everybody takes from it according to what it needs. The fisherman understands how to look after the fish using the GANS technology, plasma technology, to create a comfort for the fish, to create a position that there are no parasites with the fish, to create a condition that the fish is happy with the condition of what he is used to. And the cosmologist looks into the depth of the universe, how he can transmute, why the stars get these positions, and how he can see new dimensions in the knowledge of the science of cosmology. This is what we are here for. We have to understand the operation of the soul, and we have to understand the soul of the man is a star in the cosmos of the universe. If we compare the soul of the man and many of us, 7 billion in one collection, Earth is like a galaxy with so many stars. When we look in the depth of the universe, we see galaxies with hundreds of millions of stars in it. So is the planet Earth. Carries 7 billion beautiful stars, which are the soul of the man. Carries with it soul of so many trillions of animals, plants, and everything else. So if you look, when someone who does not see the physicality of the earth and its content, what do they see? They see a galaxy with so many beautiful lights shining, each one according to their strength, each one according to their position. An infant has a beautiful soul, so has the old man. To those who do not the physical, do not see the physical dimension of this planet, but they see the strength of the field. We are a clusters of stars. The human race, every single soul, no one from a distance sees that's the soul of a fisherman, that's the soul of the cosmologist, that's the soul of a president. They all shine irrespective of the physicality. This is the magic. This is what the new science has to bring to man. When we look through our soul, we see nothing but beautiful star in the other souls. And this is the break. This is the understanding. This is what all these teachings are about. Not to become blind to physicality, but become aware what physical life comes from, what is behind it. If you look in the structure of this planet, what would we see if we don't see the physical dimension? The center of the planet with its soul, where it holds everything. The stars in this beautiful galaxy. Difference with us, we decide where these stars go, where the star fields. I from the beauty. Being so. Then we have to understand how these souls interact, that their interaction leads to the appearance of the physicality in a given condition. When you see the soul of a man in the North Pole with a fur coat, has no different soul when the same man flies into Middle East in the heat, or in the Africa in the heat with a t-shirt. The soul is not aware of what's on. The soul is aware of the interaction of the fields of the other souls. This is the elevation of understanding. This is the new magic. One understanding the potential of his own. What can I do? How can I give? How can I become a way for the other souls to elevate themselves? This is what, this is part of these teachings. This is how we brought man to understand the next level. There are many levels after the level of the soul of the man. But if man has problem in understanding the difference between the physical state of his life and his creation point of his life, how do you expect to understand the steps beyond that? There are many levels beyond the soul of the man, which again is interaction of the fields of much higher order, that their, what we call slowing down or loss of strength, leads to the creation of this essence of the soul of the creation. There are souls, there are conditions, there are levels beyond the unicos. Man has a problem with his neighbor of different color of skin, let alone to understand the creation of unicos. We have to become, to understand that we do not get bogged down to one thing, one word, one system, one behavior. But we have to understand what we understand of this behavior, what has initiated it, what is the cause of it, what is the firing point, the starting point, and what is the point of demise. How do we elevate others that our existence has no relevance but to serve. There is no sacrifice in the level of the work of the soul of the man, but is the servitude. It means I make myself a passage for others to receive the higher order, that through them I get the pleasure to be part of. Not I am the reason that they have elevated themselves. Separation of the two part of the physical life and the life of the soul of the man will bring a lot of problems for a lot of people. We have seen in the past few weeks, we have seen how We interacted in Togo. Things suddenly changed. And it's just done, it's gone. But what have we done? What have we achieved? What we put in? Now situation moves to another country. Are we going to go country by country to, in a way, prevent? Or are we going to go to the source which causes this? Look at the pattern. The spring uprising. Now is African uprising. The instigators are the same people. We see the Middle East problems. We see problems in South America. We see problems getting set up in Far East Asia. But how come there is no problem in the house of the instigators? How come they're making life comfortable for themselves, but the others suffering? This is the same point, as I said, in respect to the hurricanes of what we call the Caribbeans. We are used to shipping, getting food, patches or whatever. And as I said, step up to the next level. Reach the soul of the man. That he can find even peace in the time of trouble. He can find shelter through confidence of the soul. Now we have to do the same thing. We have to find, to elevate the soul of those who instigate these wars. There's no use blaming. You call them Rothschilds, you call them Illuminatis, you call them whatever, Masons. They have relieved of the weakness of the man. But if we teach and understand and step up to one level, raise the soul of Rothschild, raise the soul of those who call themselves whatever, that in raising, in elevating their souls which has gone so low, they see their own misconduct. The soul will change their physicality. Take the fight between their physicality and their soul within themselves, that the outside stays at peace. We see many things blaming these people 700 years, 1,000 years. Blame them for 1,000, 10,000 years. It means man has not matured. One who accepts the condition imposed on, and one who creates the condition to impose. Elevate the soul of those who call themselves king, queen, or whatever, by giving from your soul. That in the embarrassment of understanding of the physicality and the soul, they walk off. It's been done many times. Many times. It's just there has not been enough understanding from the man that whoever, whatever you call, can walk amongst the people as normal, as part of. I serve, does not matter what title I carry. I'm here to make other souls to live a life of peace, irrespective of what I come, who I am. It's in the writing of Baha'u'llah Blessed's name that he says, the time will come that no one will take the crown of kingship. What does it mean? It doesn't mean that they're going to be getting rid of the kings. It means that we elevate the soul of these people, that they see themselves as equal to the others. Because the soul will impose, not the physicality. Kingship comes out of physical life. There is no kingship in the soul, in that level of soul. We don't have the soul of the King Abraham, or the soul of the King Moses. The soul is equal and it shines like every others. This is what we have to understand. This is where we have to change the structure of our work. where there is no fear to raise the soul of those who to man in the physical life has been a threat. Those who sit at these points, who instigate these wars, who instigate these conflicts, instigate any kind of conflict, are those souls who are so low that they need this to confirm their existence. A king does not need to confirm I'm a king. A mother who is generous to his children does not need to confirm I'm a mother, I'm generous, because I'm the mother, because I gave life and I protect life. So it's my soul which increases the soul of my child. I give from my soul through physicality and through my soul to my child. So when you think of what you call Illuminatis, Rothschilds, Masons, Mafias, or whatever, change position. Raise their soul. Give from, be a channel. Take from what you think you can spare to save their soul. They walk off. The conflict between the physicality and the soul will walk them in the path that the changes will come. And this way will come very rapid. In my teachings in past 3-4 years, all of you, majority of you, have done the physical test, and then you had to have the confirmation. I showed you how to make the nano coating. Then I showed you how to make the ganses. You went, you bought a caustic, you made the nano material, you made the box, you made the black material. That was there, the guy is correct. He does something what he says. The Coca-Cola bottle was on the internet for 5 years, 6 years, nobody knew. They call it the magic liquid. It was a caustic. Because man never understood. We brought the knowledge into GANs. And then with it, you all created it. You made boxes to confirm it's correct. Body says it can be done. Then you start playing with ganses. You made patches. You made systems. You used the new plasma understanding to the level. You made magraphs. You made all sorts of things to confirm, get a confirmation. I make a patch. It changes my pain. I drink the water, changes this, does that. You went step by step, getting confirmation. Now, you have to do the same thing. Get a confirmation. Make the reactor of your soul, the reactor of the change. It's dynamic, it's made of GANs. It comes from the structure of the nano-atomic structure of the universe. All the teachings from nano to magnetic fields of dynamic cores was to teach about the man himself. Was to bring you to understand, to see, to feel that now you can use this because it's within you. Use the dynamic soul of the man to elevate others. If you look at it in a different way, when you have a pain, those of you who use the patches, you put one stronger patch on one side and one weaker patch on the other side. And in transfer of energy from one to another, you elevated or removed the energy which you call pain in your body. And then there is no pain. The gans of you and the weakness of the pain in between elevated the energy, removed what was needed, that everything became normal. So Rothschilds, Illuminatis and the rest are in that pain in the body of the humanity. you become the stronger patch. You give from your soul in the transmission of light that you raise these dying stars. That you become part of the change. You become the cause of the change. You believed you made the ganses and the cores and the nanomaterial. Now trust your soul. Every man can do. You were waiting for evolution through technology. Now the evolution is the soul of the man himself. Test it. We show the power of the strength of the will of the soul of the man in Togo. Conflict. No conflict. We were stronger than instigators of the war who printed paper money in the circulation to kill more. So, we have seen the work. We have seen the elevation of the soul. We have seen collectively we can make the difference. We have become those dynamic reactors. We have become the souls which can elevate. Now, let's move on. If you were thinking that the process will come, that things will change, we done this with the core team some 2 or 3 years ago. The 14 members of the core team, when they decided to do things, we saw was achieved. Now we extend this to the whole of the Keshe Foundation team, worldwide, millions of you. Give, test the reactors of the soul of the man and elevate the soul of those who see themselves as what I call attention seekers of power. The kings, the presidents, the heads of whatever organization, that they become to your level. They need the soul of the man to elevate. And if you see yourself as just and correct and for the benefit of mankind and humanity and this planet, so you are stronger than them. So means you can give, that you direct it, and in their receiving, you elevate their souls to your soul. You have become the prophets of peace. That's what a prophet is. It's the man who gives from himself to raise the level of understanding and comfort of the others through their physicality and soul. The life of Christ. The life of Baha'u'llah and Bab. The life of those like Buddha and the rest who gave to serve. As is in the writing of Baha'u'llah. The level of understanding and the soul of the man at the present time, when you reach the understanding of the mutation of the elements, reaches the level of the prophet of the past. And those who work around the foundation, those who understand the purpose of the foundation, have reached that point. You come beyond that point. Now you understand the transmutation of fields, which makes the elements. So you are wiser. You have become so educated in such a short time that you have not even realized. You have become the masters of the prophets. But there is no master. It's the elevation of the soul. It's the transition of the fields, as the soul has no physicality in the dimension of the man at the present time. But when you go to the other dimension, then the soul finds the field strength of the matter states of its own. Then you understand where and how the work of the foundation is taking shape. It's not self-sacrifice. It's understanding of elevation of the weak. trying to confirm they exist, trying by the same action, creating a position that I have the power of control. Go back to the medical teaching in what we call ADHD, attention deficiency hyperactivity. If we look at the people of Rothschilds, if we look at the Illuminatis and the Masons, what do? They are a child with ADHD. They need attention to confirm they exist, and their hyperactivity to show that they are there, that they control, is the worst harming the other. Do we destroy the child with ADHD? Or do we give from our souls and find a medication for it to understand why? And in the new knowledge, we understand all they want to do is to confirm they exist. So treat them as a sick child. But these children need the elevation of the soul, not omega 3. Because this comes through the lack of trust in oneself. I am of a bigger gang and I can control. Then you understand, does the human race needs Vaticans, the Haifa, or Mecca, or the wall, or temples in the mountains to rotate some drums? Then you understand why we teach this way. To gain understanding into the essence of the creation. We can go in a position of sorting one thing to another, one war after another, just to keep this hyperactive child trying to confirm his existence that I control. Let's give him his omega 3 to calm him down. Give from the soul of the man. Let them have their fights between their physicality and the soul. Take the pictures of heads of Illuminatis, heads of Rothschilds, the heads of Masons, and give from your soul to them, that you elevate their souls. You find the physicality of their face, that you can reach the dimension of their souls. It's like a post box. This is the beauty of the new cycle of life. Mutation of elements, where you find a face and through it you reach the soul and you raise the level of the soul. Let the elevation of their soul be the peaceful man, not fighting with them. Fighting takes time, takes energy, which is not the attributes of the soul of the man. This is where I start teaching in the past few weeks to bring you to this point, and the points which will come in the coming weeks and time. As you mature, as you come to understand, now I have to use the dynamic core of my soul to elevate the soul of a sick man. But this is not a sickness. It's a demand to be confirmed that I exist. This is where this technology comes into operation. You are back to the first teachings, some 195 teachings ago. How to make nanomaterial, that it leads to the creation of the gans, that I can see it can do things. Now, the nanomaterial condition creation is the understanding of the work of the soul of the man. This is what we are leading to. This is what we are expanding the knowledge of. This is where the teaching is heading us. Trust in oneself's strength of the soul. It needs to be done that we bring peace on this planet. It needs to be done that by seeing the change, we understand in the next step that in the space is us who can change. These are very much like the test we do to confirm the pain pen works. The pain is the soul's behavior of these people, the kings and the rest. Has it solved the problem by getting rid of the Tsars? Another has come to claim the same position to the worse. Has it changed the situation in Iran by getting rid of a king? Has brought more murders by the others who wanted to get to the same seat. But once you elevate the soul, no one seeks a seat, but become a servant. This is what is on the logo of the Keshe Foundation. We are here to serve and not to be served. It's not a restaurant. It means I'm here to give from my soul, that by it I elevate the soul of the others. I do not need to be given, because when it's needed, I take what I need by what is given to me. In the level of the soul of the man, not in the physicality of the dimension of existence. Now, maybe we have to go back to the lab and test the strength of our souls. Then we understand there is no need for wars, because there is no one to claim more, because we all have more. So much money spent on the arms to kill, for those who sit at the realm of these organizations to confirm they have power. Give them the power of a soul that they find out they have no power, then you'll find out there is no need for defense technology. Then you find out the money which is spent on killing can be used for the other things. There is no seat for the seat of kingship. We never seen a crown, and we never seen a throne in any part of the operation of the soul of the universe, except in physical dimension of the man who's nothing and claims to be something, by physical destruction of the others. Give them so much with the soul that they find out there is nothing in the physical dimension. They say the present Pope, he says he will be the last Pope. He is correct, because we are going to raise his soul to a point that he sees the truth about the life of the man through the soul of the man. And he'll speak, and the world will mature to understand. These people reach billions, as they can say this is the end of the time. The soul of the man has reached maturity, that we are all equal. This is the change. The time will come soon that all these people, where you raise their souls will open up the treasuries of their work for centuries to be used in the benefit of mankind. When we become one nation, we don't need to spend, according to the governmental statistics, 1.6 trillions of dollars on defense technology. 1.6 trillions on road, housing, shelter, food, hospitals, universities, education of the soul of the man will make heaven on earth. That is for 1 year. One trillion is 1,000 or 1 billion. It's a huge amount of money which man makes, spends to kill. To kill the physicality, to harm the physicality, to confirm for a few that they are in power. Now, let the struggle become when the soul changes and sees, then does not follow the physicality, then we'll see how many of these people will end up their own physical life. Many of them will do, when they understand how much wrong they've done to human race over time. This is the purpose. Let them elevate. And let you to be the tools of elevation. Be proud that your soul has brought the change. Be proud that the purpose I spent 196 teachings now has a purpose. I have found a purpose for my existence, not in the conformation of a magravs, a GANs or a nanocoating. In so many ways, as we say, we dangle the carrot in front of your eyes without you seeing that now you'll find out there is no carrot. But in fact, you have the beauty from the beginning. But you had to understand it, that the carrot was the peace on this planet. The carrot was the elevation of the soul of being on this planet. Not just one, but the entire souls. Coming to mature to the next level, to understand in the deep space, the universe is the oyster for those souls who serve. Then man is ready to go into space. Then man is ready to become part of the universal community which has been promised. I never promised you heaven. I always promised you the elevation of the man to join the family. And now you have the key. It's you who has to open the door to understand, if I can raise the soul of these people or millions of other souls, that the physical life on this planet changes, then I'm worthy to be part of the universal community. To be there to serve, to expand. To be there, to be part, that in the cycle of life of universe, I become, in being part, I become part of the totality. When man reaches that point, a new dimension in the strength of the soul of the man will appear, which is beyond imagination of understanding of the physical life. It's the gate to the opening of the new life in a new dimension, which is beyond imagination of what you might call a new beginning, a new cycle, which that cycle carries with itself the origin of the creation of life in the universe and in the universe. It's the elevation of the soul to serve become the key, not a throne of the physical life. The time is right. The time has come for the man to go through this process. And many of the Keshe Foundation supporters and followers, and through the souls of those who have never heard of the Foundation, but have heard through the strength of their souls, the call for change has come. In 2 weeks, we showed we moved the war. Now it's time for the man to move the causes of the war through correct conduct, through elevating the soul of those who are the instigators. The time has come for us to move through the strength of the soul and not through the physicality of the gun policy. Raise the soul of the American president. He needs it. Because in elevating the soul will change the physicality. Do the same with the Pope. Do the same with all the Rothschilds. Do the same with the Illuminatis, with everything else. Even the local mafias in your area, what do you think they are? The mayor, the priest, the president. Then you find out the more you give, the more you have, and you see the change. But now it has to become a collective change. It has to become a collective change through the collective giving. Understanding, you put the patches on either side and you saw the change. Now you do the same. You become the patch. But don't think that you become the strong patch. Be the speaker, that the interaction between the stronger and the weaker, that is the other souls within the foundation and the work of the peace, will bring these people to be in the middle to elevate. This is what we need. This is what is the time for change. This is what it needs to be done for man to be able to bring peace on this planet. This is what we have to understand. We have come through this path. Now it's time of maturity. And the beauty of it is, the more and more who come and get attracted by the nanomaterial, by making ganses, by making the cores and whatever, they do not understand. They cannot even imagine that they have started a path that you started months ago, years ago. And then in that process of understanding with the teaching, the soul is getting elevated to the understanding of the work. Why and how? You got to realize, we see a lot of people in two groups in the foundation. Those who are the talkers and those who actually do things, make things. And we see a clear separation between the two, and a third group which is between the two. Those who get involved in making ganses and working because they are in touch, like with the zinc, with the copper, with CO2, with CH3, they become different mental state. They become elevated in the soul because they receive so much that they pass the level of physicality. We see devotion and admiration. We see them to becoming very active because unknowingly they are receiving so much. And then they receive the elevation of the soul. We see this right across the foundation. Then we see those who stay theoretical and they are there just to be, I'm the support. I never make things, I'm there, I understand, my soul is with you and the rest of it. They become the weaker patch. And then we see those who are in touch with those who make the gases and the ones who don't, but they work and interact, and we see they get their souls elevated. Because they receive it, they receive the attention, they receive the energy which comes through. And then this is the process we will see. It's not that to make gases to elevate yourself, it's that the process is gradually spreading by those who become, those who join, those who become part of bigger structure. But in between, at the end of the day, man will come to understand through the rising of the soul of the man. In so many ways, by setting up the factories that we produce CO2s and ganses and zincs and whatever, is to, through the magic of the carrot, to raise the total soul of this planet. It's the only way we can do. You remember the story last week or the week before about the poor prince who thought he's a cow, needs to be slaughtered, and the physician put a chain around his neck. He said, "You're too slim. I have to feed you that I can sell you." And then medication or the string came through the food. This is what we are doing with the human race. Through the systems we develop, we change the atmosphere and the soul of the man. And it's done by all the Keshe Foundation supporters and the people who work around it. This is the structure. But as we are in a physical dimension, we have to do everything that we can reach. Any trick that it can elevate the soul of the man is part of the structure of man. The food, the macro system, the water, the shirts, the medical system, everything the same. To change thousands and thousands and millions of years of behavior overnight will not be so easy. But now is done through the man himself, by man. This we'll see more and more. What does this mean? Now that we reach this new understanding, what is the next thing to learn? What is the next knowledge? The next knowledge, now that you understand the soul of the man is the creator physicality of the man. Now we have to understand the conduct of the soul. The essence of the operation of the soul, that we do not come across a ball of light, dynamic but not understanding how we operate. Because it's us, its operation, its understanding leads to the physical condition of us. Where are the flaws And where are the beauties? Where are the blockages? What do we need to become a perfect soul? The soul of the man is the river of life of universe. It has many subsidiaries and it has many inflows. The body of the man is the channel for all the subsidiaries and all the inflows. All the ones which will divide the river to feed the others, where itself receives more from inflows of little brooks and little springs. And in time, the two work next to each other. I always define the work of the soul of the man very much like a Russian oil pipeline. In old Russia's USSR, they used to dig oil from every part of the Russia, but they brought them all into one pipeline and they called it mixed Russian oil. But when it came out, the refineries knew which part of the oil they need in the process, how they have to handle it, that could get the full benefit from the light to heavy to medium. Russia couldn't have a pipeline for everything. There was a springs of everything coming together, making one channel, and then in process the divisions as was needed. So is the soul of the man. We take from everywhere, and in that process in the pipe, we have to make everything balance. What is his, what is not, what in one strength become the others, but collectively when we come out, we serve the totality. That everyone receives equal and something. It's a very strange way, and it's very much for man to understand. It's not a conflict, it's the understanding of the process internally in the flow of the fields of the structure of the soul of the man. With a physical life, we are used to the mouth and the nose, that's where everything goes in, air and food. And then the structure runs. And it comes out in different shapes and forms. In the life of the soul of the man, we receive energies. It has a processing inside the soul of the man, very much matching the physicality of the man. What feels needed, where needed, that in turn, what is divided of the highest order of giving can be given out on the other end. Let's call it the exit pole of the soul of the man. Inside is the same process. It's not that you get compressed and decompressed, but in a way, what is needed by the others in balance internally with the field flow of the soul is given to what is needed to be given. Nothing is thrown out for it there to be caught by something. It's very much like interaction of a child with a mother. Child being another soul, and the mother being the soul of the man, which is you. Child doesn't speak, I'm hungry, but the mother knows it's time to make food for it. And this is strength, and this is what it needs. So works the same inside the soul of the man. Recognizes the operation and need of the other souls, and what is needed is given. In a way, in the soul of the man, it's the same operation of serving. It's understanding the need of the environment of the fields which are released, that is given and reaches to the one which has received the information that I need to give. The operation of the soul within itself is a clockwork and a maze of interactions of the remote controls in the line of the field and strength. So when you have a soul which it needs attention, it has and strengthens the soul of it. And within you, by giving release what it needs through your soul. So you change the physicality through by giving to the soul of the man at the strength which the soul needs. Not I give everything that he can take and the rest is wasted. Nothing in the world of the physics of the field motion in the soul of the man is a waste. And nothing is put out just for the sake of being out. It's very much the operation of the earth. Earth does not just put fields out for the sake of putting it out from its exit, what we call the North Pole. It puts out at the strength which can control its position in respect to the sun, that it guarantees its survival. Even the earth has a soul to dictate its survival, to dictate its position on a continuous basis. Otherwise, if it just throws any fields out, at the end it'll be vibrating and shaking like a, whatever you like, a ball on a vibrating table. It doesn't do that. It assesses through its soul, through the field release, this is what I need to release to keep my constant position in respect to the sun and the moon and the rest which are in. From Jupiter to Saturn to Mars to Venus and the others. So the soul of the planet Earth works on the same way. It doesn't just burst out any fields. Then it gets attracted to the Mars 1 minute and then falls out to Jupiter the next. There is a mechanism within the structure which every field has its own strength, interaction, that it keeps its constant flow, its position, and guarantees its survival. So is the soul of the man. And the sooner man finds out from macro to micro, the soul of the man and the work of the operation of the planet Earth, now you understand the truth about the life. I have hidden this in the pictures in the book number 3, where you see those little curly things. Each curly things is a part of the operation which it interacts with the other entity, that it keeps a distance of the totality of this plasma in its position in respect to the outside field. Now you understand why the pictures were made this way. It's not that everything is chucked out and what is needed. Every single field which comes out of this planet is controlled by the soul of the planet. Is controlled by the operation of the fields, that it guarantees its position in respect to the moon. Moon has a different magnetic gravitational field strength than the sun. If the earth would have created that field, the moon would have moved into the sun, because it will throw it away to the point. But as a mother is caring, I need the child to be at this point because I need it to collect my fields which are surplus, that I can guarantee my survival. Now you understand, everything in the universe has an organization, even the soul of this planet. which leads to the physicality manifestation of this planet. So is the soul of the man, which leads to the manifestation of the physicality of the man. Gathering of a dust on the moving magma is not coincidental. Not just only on this planet, with every entity existing in the universe is the same. Now you understand. Now it becomes very much in the process of what we need to do with what we receive from the soul of this planet and the universe, and how in our strength can take, serve, to be able to take what is not needed by the others by serving them what they need. That the structure in totality is peaceful. Means is a giver, that by giving it finds its position. Now start testing. You've seen the magnet systems works. You've seen the pans and the pens work. You had the paint pads and it worked. Now you've seen the work of the field. Now it's time to test the soul of the man. And rejoice. Its beauty is the strength. And with it, the end of conflict and peace on this planet. You did not chop the pain part of your leg out. You just put 2 plasmatic field patches on either side that you take from it what it doesn't need and you give to it what it needs, and the pain is gone. These organizations are the pain in the life of the society of the planet. Do not need to headhunt them. They're so low, they need to be elevated. That in that process, the whole physicality of the structure changes, that they understand there is no need. We can do these over centuries, or collectively, as we have some stronger fields and the lesser field souls, we interact and we give so much that we change this cancer out of the body of the man. By itself removing itself, but not us fighting. Fighting takes too much energy, too much planning. Giving is easier from the soul, because then inside the soul of these entities, beings, man, at the head of any or part of any, is those little curls in the field of the plasma. Has a purpose and needs to be served to satisfy itself, and with it, then the whole plasma becomes perfect. Finds its position, and we'll see the change. I see many of these will walk in the path of correction. But depends on the will and the strength of the soul of the man. To give, that they understand there is no kingship and there is no need to prove who is in charge. In the past couple of days, I came across a boy who was playing with my son. And I watched the reaction of the mother in respect to this boy. And I explained to the mother that that's all he's doing. He wants to confirm I exist and I have you under control. And the mother needed the child to confirm that I exist and I'm controlling you. I walked into a chemist and I asked for omega-3 and I gave it to the mother. I said, in allowing the child's soul, which comes through the ganses of the mechanism of these oils, he'll find peace, and you'll find peace that you do not need to control. In so many ways, we do not need one to confirm the other. We need to give that we do not need confirmation, but the existence of one's itself gives the beauty of the soul and the existence of the soul. Now, as I said, dynamic magraphs has moved to the dynamic soul of the man. You see in the medical teams, the doctors, how they use the new dynamic systems, and they say they see so much faster results. What they used to take weeks, now they see in a faster way, but with it they see the elevation of the soul of the patient as well, and now they moved in that way. Now, the dynamic soul of the man becomes the physician of the space of this planet. For those souls who need elevating, that they do not need to be attention seeking to confirm their existence. There is no difference between the child and Rothschild. They are both children and they need the elevation of their soul. We target these organizations directly from now on by elevating their souls, by giving to them from the soul, that in that process we find the restless child, find a peace and confirmation that you do not need to control, but you are controlled by understanding of your own behavior, that you are part and no different. These are the keys for the peace on this planet. These are part of the jigsaw. These are part of the maze we need. Work is not just the gans making and producing energy. Now for those who elevated is to change the course of those who do not need and become part of the cancer of life of this planet. They are the same as a cancer. In the past we irradiate them, we operate them, and then they grow somewhere else again. But with the plasma technology, we let the cancer to become part of the energy fields that it doesn't grow anywhere else. So we have to do with the cancer of Rothschilds by themselves, the Illuminatis, the Masons, and the rest. Because this is the next key to the operation of peace. They become the biggest support for the change of humanity, because they have gathered the resources that can be used to change the face of wars into peaceful places for the establishment of one nation. Is no use opening another structure when the same old man is throwing a stone in the water. It's our job for those of the Keshe Foundation supporters who have elevated and understood the work of the soul, to start elevating the soul of these groups, the presidents and the kings. The autumn uprising which I promised you has started, but it's the uprising of elevating the soul of those who have been the problems of the society of humanity for a long time, that they come to understand the time of change has come and they have received what they wanted. No more wars, no more conflict. Man signed himself with the pen of peace. These things need the signing with the pen of the soul of the man. And we start from today. This is why so intensively I concentrated and I promised you the time has come. And now this is another phase. Let them fight amongst each other's physicality and the soul as those who we give mature in the soul, that they bring changes to the others. You trusted your pain pen, you trusted your pain pad, now trust yourself in giving. You are that path where up to now you are the sick in the middle. You've used it to finish and benefit your physicality. Now you use the knowledge to change the pain of humanity. I asked our guys in the background this morning to give me a very real statistics of the military expenditure of the world today. 2016, which we have, 2017, 1.6 trillion. With a few millions, Keshe Foundation is changing things in the up. Can you imagine? 1.6 trillion will bring to mankind in changing everything. We see the Chinese government as a flagship and the leadership for this job. And we have trust 100% in the presidency of President Xi. Is their flag hold and their way of doing. We will see struggles, those who still want to have their last kick. But in a way, they understand the time of change has come. There is no need for radical changes. It just needs for time to give the human race a time to rest. And those who understood the work of the soul of the man have to be the instigators of the peace. Every second of your life you have nothing to do. Spend time in giving from your soul to those of these organizations who need it. Very soon, the buildings of mosques, the churches, the Vaticans and Mecca will be empty. It will be history in the time when the man did not understand the work of his soul. No physical life will walk through these walls as man realizes that is the soul of the man, and he has no need for physicality to confirm his existence. All the properties of the churches, the mosques, the synagogues will be returned to accommodate those who need and those who have elevated to be able to understand the need. That becomes the center for support of the human race, physical life, and the structure, that it has no connection but to protect the physical life. It's very strange when you go to the blue mosques in Istanbul. By adding a few bricks, it has changed the house of God from Christianity to Islam in the same path. And then you go to Spain, where the mosques with a few changes have changed from Islam into Christianity. Very strange how man has been fooled in the name of his own soul. Now, we see by elevating the soul of religious leaders, we understand that they will guide to explain to the man what has been wrong and what is to be done and what is correct. As I said in the teaching of Tuesday, we use the present banking system to deliver. We use the present commercial system to deliver the food to the hungry through the work of the banking system. Now we do the same in the same pattern. Let those who fool the man through his soul bring man to understand the power of his soul. That the churches, the mosques, the synagogues, and the path of belief in Buddha and the rest walk the man to the path of understanding the strength of his soul. It's easier than trying to bring another religion, another way of thinking. Let the soul do the job. All the structures are preset. Let the priest teach about the soul and forget about the physicality of the Christ. People have already been in place. Raise the soul of the priest in your city, in your village. At the same time, raise the soul of the Pope, because he has to support him to confirm the coming of Messiah, which is the soul of the man. You went to church and the synagogues and the mosques, and you donated in the physical pocket money. Now go to the same and give from your soul to the man who collected the money, that the money becomes irrelevant, and he educates the soul of the followers of the physicality. It's time for change to move into the real work of the universe. And it's time to understand that we use the matter state to reach the level of understanding of the soul of the. Now you understand maybe why the Creator has sent his messengers in the name of whatever you have had. Is that they bring the ears, that it can be used when the time of the Messiah comes, can teach the soul and the message, not to oppose. But by them understanding through those who have become messiahs to give from their souls to these to elevate, the job is made easy. The school is there and the students are devotedly there. Then there won't be any fight between what they call the Muslims and the Christians. The lamb and the lion will eat and sleep in the same nest. The Christians and the Muslims will sleep and pray in the mosque and in the same church in the name of their souls, not in the name of religion that is used to create so much conflict for the benefit of those who were the hyperactive children. The time has come, the time of change is here. And as I said, my wish is my command. If it's your wish to see peace, the path of peace is laid very clearly. It's the soul of the collective awareness by giving will create that position of change. No other thing. There is no pen in the soul of the man. And I'm sure once you go into the universal community, you will never see anything written but the balance of the fields of the soul of the existence. Try to be humble enough not to become arrogant in the power that you have understood and you possess. Otherwise, you'll fall in the same path of the church and the mosque. This is what we promised, and this is what we have delivered. The autumn of war, conflict, division by path of belief has come. It's the soul of the Keshe Foundation supporters and those who have heard through their souls without a name to bring the change, and by the ethos of the foundation. We are here to serve through our souls, that by serving we can raise the soul of the others. Why do you serve in the restaurant if there are no hungry customers? Why are we here to serve if there are no hungry souls to be elevated? And those who need more elevation are those who call themselves leaders and the organizations who would like to confirm their existence. Test your soul reactors and see if it works. It worked in Togo, it worked between China and Philippines, it worked between Russia and Ukraine, it worked between the peace between Iran and 5+1. It worked between the Christians with two different names in Northern Ireland. And now we have seen it working. It's time to move on and change the planet. You understood? You needed the confirmation of work of the path and the course. Now, the only excuse is the man who has not found his soul. That he can be a giver and does not need to receive, because it will receive what it needs, because what it'll give is what the others need to elevate themselves to bring the peace. Then man enters the world of the universal community, which means by understanding his soul, he becomes part of the universe, and it becomes part of the community. It's very hard. It brought me to a point of so much anger that I thought it's time to change. When I heard the nonsense coming from the American presidents, the highest expenditure, 7 billion, 700 billion to kill more. For what reason? Why doesn't it become 70 billion to prosper more, to elevate the souls which they need to be taken out of the pain? In so many ways, man has walked himself into the dead end, and this act was the dead end and needed to be responded to. We see the end of presidentship and the kingship. We see the end of priesthoods. We see the end of Rothschilds and the rest who instigate and finance these wars. By elevating their souls, by giving them chance to find peace within themselves. Then, no Muslim is the enemy of Christianity, and no one needs to be faked to create wars, to put one against the other. This is what is needed. And those of you who understood the work, you understand the next phase. Once the peace comes, once these people walk off from the throne, now comes the teaching of how we elevate the rest of the humanity to understand the work of their souls, that the planet as a whole feeds its own mother birth, which is earth, to become peace, that it becomes part of the universal community. When we travel the depth of the universe, we carry the soul of the man, which is us, in the cradle of the soul of the mother, which is the earth. So both have to find peace. This is why we said the job of the man is to bring peace to all animals and all that are on this planet. Try to extend the knowledge that in a coming time, we don't look for the biggest military spenders. We look for zero military spenders, but the biggest spenders to bring comfort to man. It's the same money, but it brings a joy instead of pain and sorrow. Today I raise from my soul the soul of the Pope. He needs it. We are in communication with them to guarantee world peace. Not to dominate, but to bring peace and equality. The same goes with the Rothschild family and their extended extension of life. Instigator of many wars. The same goes with the Islamic world. Because they're all children of this planet. And the planet does not see their emotion and their physicality, but they sees the beauty of their soul. Souls have no color, no religion, and definitely no kingship. This is the process which we started, and now we are coming to the conclusion acts. Pray for those leaders, kings and presidents who did wrong, for themselves to put it right. For those who do wrong, to put themselves right. It's upon them if they want and they come to explain what they've done. Otherwise, let it be from their soul to be given to put right for what and whom they've done wrong to. Now we have to understand why we taught this way, and the teachings becomes more intense for those who are here not to benefit with the generator. But don't forget, that generator creates fields which elevates the soul of the user and the environment which is working. In each way man walks, I have walked you into the path of peace. The greed of the man with the power units and generators and the pads and the rest, at the end of the day, releases fields at the strength which elevates the soul of the man. The separation of physicality from the emotion, that the soul will serve its purpose. If you thought that the Magraph systems are there to give you the energy, yes, they will. But they're working to elevate your soul too, because they create and release a spectrum of fields. It's very much like the water which I explained to the minister in Ghana. It's water. You put my water in the water and see if the alkalineness which is taking and giving has changed, and the water from the tap. And they did. And they told to the minister, silence. You have made the biggest mistake, you walked in his trap. If you learn from the cup and the gas water which is added to it, the water didn't change its appearance. It didn't become a king and it didn't become a servant. It stayed server to the hunger and the thirst of the man. That's how a man should be. We don't preach, we teach the work of the universe. We enlighten to the new knowledge that the soul of the man elevates the physicality of the man, and with it brings peace. I give from my soul to every member of the Rothschilds whose case created so much mayhem in the past centuries, to elevate their souls, nothing more. It's the soul will change them. That's all we need to do. Because now we have seen the work and the strength of our soul. There is no difference between our soul and a dynamic reactor. There is no difference between the field, working of the field of the patch and the soul of the man. A patch gives unconditionally, you put it on your body, a child, a dog, a horse, a fish. This is what the teaching is about. This is what 196 teaching has brought man to, and does not need for the whole humanity to listen to, as we have already reached the soul of the humanity. The wind of the change in the soul of the man is breezing through the fields of this planet. It's sweet, it's warm, and it's giving. And there are many souls which are enjoying the new breeze. Try to understand the totality. Try to understand the full process, that with it you can give the right way to the right place, that with it the work becomes easier. As I said, the winter and the autumn for kingship, powership, and control of human race has come, and it starts from today. Because you are informed of it today, and it's from now we start. No animosity, no blaming, no finger pointing. Being a father or a mother who close his eyes to misconduct of the child, because the child has to misconduct to understand that he grows to be correct, and now the time has come. The work of a Messiah does not come by preaching, but comes by understanding the need of the time and giving it generously, that it satisfies the need. The need of this planet now is peace and equality in the correct way, that all souls can live at peace. And now the time has come. And we have trained enough messiahs that they will enforce the change. Thank you very much for today. And I hope you understand. Elevate the soul of every being on this planet. Because the time to enter the universal community according to the strength of the soul of the man has come. You wanted the proof, you've seen the patches. If you have doubt in the work of your soul, make a patch and put on the pain on your body. If the pain goes, it means the field exists to do the change. So does your soul to bring the change for humanity. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you once again, Mr. Kesh, as always, for the last 195 Knowledge Seekers workshops. And as always, thank you everybody for attending. And that'll be the end of the 196 Knowledge Seekers workshop for Thursday, November 2nd, 2017. And we hope to see you here next week for another workshop with the Knowledge Seekers workshop series. Okay, I think we'll end the live stream. Sorry, we have to play our music here actually. Thank you, Flint. Not hearing the sound yet.
One more time.